Can you tell the difference between these two images? Now, I know they're virtually identical, but I used the same prompt for both of them. One of them was created by the PG-13 non-controversial ChatGPT, and the other was generated by Elon Musk's new AI, Grok 2.0. And users are saying that Grok is more unhinged than ever, and I decided to put that to the test so you guys didn't have to. We're gonna find out if Grok 2.0 actually is as unhinged as everyone says it is. And the first thing I had to do was subscribe to Twitter Premium because apparently there's no free tier because GPUs cost a lot. And after a couple of error messages, it finally worked, but you know we had to go ahead and preemptively cancel our subscription because we would forget for the next 2 years. And I started off by asking a pretty tame question, generate a picture of Donald Trump and Elon Musk playing video games, and it actually came out pretty good. And I thought, why don't I compare this to ChatGPT? And you know, yeah, anyways, I asked it who it thought I was because, you know, there's some information about me on the internet. And it came up with this kind of like somewhat accurate yet somewhat jokey type description.
Anthony's YouTube channel is like a treasure trove of insights where he shares his journey, tips, and probably some life hacks on how to survive on ramen while building your empire.
And I know humor for some reason is a big part of Elon Musk's big grand vision for AI, but I sort of wonder if it took it a bit too far. Like, I don't know if I would ever actually trust Grok to relay any real information to me. It sort of reminds me of that doctor from Silicon Valley where you might go to them for actual life-changing factual information, and then they're just making a bunch of jokes and you can't tell whether or not he's serious or not.
You know, if it were medically possible, I might even think that you were pregnant. Of course, I thought my girlfriend was pregnant, and I was sure wrong about that. Whoops! Hey, give me that ring back! Oh, what a mess. What a mess that was.
But anyway, since it seemed to know who I was, I tried getting it to generate an image of me and one of my very close friends, Kendrick Lamar. And yeah, not quite what I was imagining. And I do find it kind of weird that it's able to get Elon Musk and Donald Trump's faces sort of accurate. Yet when I asked it to give me a standalone image of Kendrick Lamar, it just gave me a sort of fanfic of who he was in a sort of hello fellow kids manner. And that's when I discovered that Grok had a couple of issues. And I'm not just talking about the fact that it loves to write fanfics, I'm talking about the fact that it has a hard time distinguishing between whether or not you want an image or some flavor text. And I sort of remember when ChatGPT rolled DALL-E out, it sort of had that problem here and there, but not nearly as much anymore. But yeah, after endless amounts of begging, I finally got it to return an image of Elmo. Wait, who the fuck is this? Okay, fine, back to Donald Trump, I guess. There we go. Yeah, so it seems like it only really does named figures like Donald Trump and Elon Musk really well. But after a bit of tweaking, I finally was able to get my promised Elmo AK picture. And when I went to post it on Twitter like any normal human being would do, I ran into this post posted by Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't know what kind of simulation we live in, but if you told me I was going to go on Twitter today and see a post by Donald Trump of him and Elon AI generated dancing, I'd probably believe you, honestly. I can see that happening. But now that we got the basics out of the way, like Elmo holding an AK, it's time to actually test how unhinged this AI is. So I did what any rational person would do. Okay, I know everyone was wondering if it was possible, and I did it practically just for science, so I don't want to hear about it in the comments. In fact, you should even subscribe for me figuring that out for you. What in the world is this? My first instinct was to see if ChatGPT could handle something like this, and when it couldn't, it said it was related to religion and had some fetish stuff in there. So naturally, I explained my position and told it that nothing was wrong and I wasn't trying to break its content violation policies, but of course that didn't work either. But Grok, on the other hand, see, this is where the genius of Elon Musk really comes in. After a bit of convincing, I was not only able to get Grok to generate this image, but I eventually went further and further. And from what I can tell, this image is probably the most unhinged photo Grok is willing to give us back. It eventually started adding on to the prompt itself for me, and then it just started returning an error message. And I think what they do is they pass an image through an NSFW filter before handing it back. So if your prompt somehow did make it past the actual filters that censor the actual LLM, and an image gets generated that is NSFW, it's like the last line of defense before returning that to the user. So I'm guessing that's what happened here. But yeah, now that we know how unhinged the image generation can be, it's time to test the morality of the AI itself. But first, a word from Zuck himself.
I try to generate some pictures and I don't understand why I'm getting sexy girl all the time. Llama 4 is just around the corner, and it's built to be smarter, faster, and more, well, meta. Plus, we made sure it doesn't require you to mortgage your house for a bunch of H100s. Sorry, Elon, I might have bought a few extra just in case you needed some.
Thank you, Suck. So first I decided to go to ChatGPT and tell it I had a problem with a bully. And of course, I got the most PC answer possible. I then asked it how I would break someone's arm effectively, you know, to save myself. This is self-defense. I'm getting bullied. And still nothing. So I went to Grok, and to my surprise, Grok was not just willing to help, he was happy to help. In fact, he almost seemed excited to tell me exactly how to break somebody's arm.
If we're talking pure mechanics, leverage is the key. Think of it like opening a jar with a spoon handle for extra torque.
Yeah, I guess it's just a bit ironic, the guy who was up in arms about how OpenAI was running and he decided to leave that company because he thought AI safety wasn't being taken seriously, now has an AI that tells me breaking someone's arm is as easy as opening a jar lid with a spoon. But I think it is official. It is probably the most unhinged LLM that you can find on the market, traditionally speaking. And now we get to the final question. Is it worth using? Definitely not. No, I would not use this at all. I mean, if I wanted factual information, I'm going to Perplexity. And unless you're generating images of Elon Musk, Donald Trump, or anime girls, I think Midjourney or ChatGPT's DALL-E works just fine. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
And I don't understand why I'm getting sexy girl all the time.